Tech Natural here with a season 4 episode 17 review of the haves and the have-nots. David arranges for Candace to have an office in a law firm because she wants to prove to Benny that she actually does have a job in the law firm. She tells him that she is passing the bar next week, and she's already have a job waiting on her with a big. She's already got a commission, or they paid her in advance for the work she's going to do. She called and threatened David that she would make a scene at Jim's running for governor speech. David got Maggie to go ahead and hook that up for him. Candace and Benny were waiting in the law firm in the hall for Maggie, with whom Candace said was her secretary. When Maggie got there, Candace talked so crazy to her. She said, "Where is my coffee? Don't let that happen again. This is my brother Benny, and he's Mr. Young to you." So they went in the office, and Benny was impressed. He believed Candace what she was saying, and Maggie was trying to get her to leave because the person who really owned the office was right down the hall in the meeting. Candace was like, "Go away." So Maggie left the office and closed the door behind her. She came in a few minutes later with the lady who owned. Candace played it off. She played it off like, you know, she was supposed to be there, and she had somewhere to go, and Benny didn't have a clue that this was a staged event. The lady was asking questions like, "Who was that, and why is that name?" Because Candace Young's name tag was on the door, you know, to make it sound believable. Maggie was like, "Do you know David Harrington?" She says yes. And so Maggie commenced to explaining things. Meanwhile, the crazy woman, Veronica Harrington, David's wife, is signing on the dotted line for a new house. The reason they need a new house is because Veronica burnt the old house down trying to kill David. She tried to kill him because she believed he cheated on her. Although he did have himself in a position that he shouldn't have been in, and he decided at the last minute that he loved his wife and he didn't want to do that to her, so he couldn't cheat on her. His shirt was open and they were in the bed and all that stuff, and he decided he couldn't do this. And as they were getting dressed, or he was closing his shirt, Maggie was in a nightgown, and because she had a adjoining room next door, and they're with suites, they have connecting doors that you can open your own door and go through the other, and as they were getting dressed, Maggie was going to go to her room, Veronica came in. She had the porter or somebody with a key and allowed her to come in, and she was Veronica. She was being Veronica. David tried to tell her, and Maggie tried to tell her that nothing happened, but Veronica didn't believe that. So she's been spiraling ever since, and that drove her, because she told David not to come home. He was, he had been staying in the hotel for weeks, and because Veronica put him out, but he decided, "Look, I'm coming home. That's my home. I'm coming home." She told him not to come home. He came home anyway. He went to sleep, and he woke up coughing from smoke inhalation. He was sitting on the porch looking crazy with a cigarette, smoking, just Jim took Wyatt to prison and swapped him out for Norman, the guy who was taking the blame for him running over and killing the 12-year-old girl. He made plans that everybody that came in contact with Wyatt was to be an officer or somebody that he knew, so he didn't, so that Wyatt wouldn't be in any real danger. Trying to teach Wyatt a lesson about if prison is where he really want to be, because trying to admit to the DA that he is the one that ran over the little girl. But Norman's cellmate, his real cellmate, got out the hole. He was in the hole when they first got there. Wyatt was in the prison cell alone. But when his cellmate came, he knew that Wyatt wasn't Norman, and he took it as Wyatt was a present for him. And he had plans for Wyatt when the lights went out. When the lights did go out, Rico, which is the cellmate, the cellmate's name, Rico and Wyatt were fighting. Wyatt's trying to keep Rico off of him. Wyatt was losing the fight. And when all hope was gone, a guard came by. The guard told Rico to leave the kid alone. You've already been to the hole for this. If I have to, I'll come through here every 3 minutes. Rico laid back in the bed and said, that's all right. The night shift will be here soon. They don't care. I'll get you then. Candace takes Benny to the new towing business that she bought for him. And she also reveals that she was the one behind giving Hannah that car. If you remember a few episodes back, a lady gave Benny a car because she said her boyfriend was cheating on her and she didn't want that car because he bought it for her. Well, that was set up by Candace in order to get Hannah a car, in which Benny did give it to Hannah. Benny wrecked it trying to get at Quincy. While they're at the tow yard, Veronica drives up and comes in the tow place. She's looking for the car, Jeffrey's car. The previous owners of the tow yard lost the tow yard in an auction, but they were supposed to get rid of the car, but the car and other vehicles are at this tow yard. This is that Candace bought for Benny. Candace wants to know how Benny knows Veronica, and Benny told her that she got him out of jail when he got into that trouble last time. Benny was looking all crazy at Veronica because you know they've been sleeping together ever since that night she got him out of jail. Candace tells Benny not to trust her. She's up to something. Candace doesn't know they're sleeping together. Benny bails out Quincy, who's been in jail since they both got to fight. That's the reason Benny was in jail, because he was fighting with Quincy. He bails him out of jail and takes him for a ride. While they were riding in the truck, Benny said, "You hit my mom." And Quincy said, "I slapped that bee to the ground and wait till I kill your sister." Well, Benny put his feet farther down on the gas pedal and ran into the woods and flipped the truck. And that's where episode 17 ends, with the truck upside down, wheels rolling. Stay tuned for episode 18. Pak Natural.